Welcome back. We'll start on a positive note. Social media is melting your brain. That's the subject of today, because I think that if you are able to control this, limit it a lot, this is going to improve your life immensely. First of all, because it's not going to turn your brain into putty, which is what it's doing right now. There is a litany of research on this. Go check it out on Google. Such notable professors as Professor Juggly Jug, who of course is a Jewish jug who juggles. I don't know their names! I've just read a lot of papers on it. It's freaking me out at the moment because obviously my job is to be on social media and I'm part of the problem. But it also got me money, so... I'm surfing. You can't tell because you can't see my legs. So what it's doing is apparently, because it just moves so quickly, the information is just constantly just like, you've got an update, ping, now there's a message over here, oh, somebody just poked you. Does anyone poke anyone anymore? Because if they do, at this point, it's very sexual predator-esque, isn't it? Nobody does that. I haven't been poked in years. Maybe it's something wrong with me, huh? Who's ever poking me no more? Should have been that figure. What it is doing, apparently, is destroying the brain's ability to concentrate. You know it yourself. If you check your Facebook before you go to sleep, which is what most people do, you shouldn't be checking it 2 hours before you sleep at an absolute minimum, and you certainly shouldn't be checking it 2 hours when you wake up first thing in the morning as well, because all the research shows that if you check Facebook, emails, YouTube, any social media app, first thing in the morning, you're going to be 10 IQ points dumber by the end of the day. I don't think you realise how serious that is. Most of us don't have IQ to spare. Most of us aren't Stephen Hawking going, I have 278 IQ. I can deal with 268 IQ. Yeah, because you've got 2.5 brains, Stephen Hawking. Most of us just barely have one. We can't deal with this. We need every single IQ point we can get. So that's the first thing, is that for the rest of the day, you're going to be smarter if you don't check your Facebook first thing in the morning. But on top of that, it is destroying your ability to concentrate. This is really crucial and scary for the economy in whole, because apparently, well, first of all, concentration is the keystone to anything in life that is human, right? So mathematics, engineering, creativity, any endeavor that human beings excel at, you need concentration at an absolute minimum. And now, our entire generation's concentration has been shattered. In fact, I've been talking to teachers about this because I'm deeply concerned about it, and as somebody with no kids, I decided to sit in on a parent-teacher meeting, and they said, what are you doing here? And I go, no, just tell me about social media. And so what happened is that every single year, because there's kids now that were looking at iPads when they were babies, and now they're moving into the schooling system, and apparently if you take an iPad off them, they go loco. It's not even a crying thing anymore of like, no, my stimulation. They say, they turn into animals. It's like they're goddamn ice junkies. It's turned the planet into ice junkies now. I'm not just thinking about, I'm not just extemporaneously thinking about this as well. There's a lot of research into this. Economists are saying that we have lost the ability to concentrate, which means anything that is going to advance humanity is going to require a lot of concentration, yeah? And if you're unable to do that, that's the end of society. So, how you can gain from it is that while the rest of the world is sitting there going ding, 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 looking at a slot machine, because that is, in fact, they use Facebook, Instagram, I think a couple of other social media websites, but I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, so we'll just go with those two. They use attention engineers that Vegas uses to keep people in casinos as long as possible. That's what they're doing to you, trying to keep you there as long as possible. And you're saying, well, I learned a lot of stuff from social media. What do you learn about? Oh my God, there was an earthquake in China. I don't give a shit. Oh my God, somebody just did this. Yes! That is the vast majority of it. You know that it's all crap. Half of the stuff I do is crap. It's all crap. You don't need that in your head. In fact, when you go to sleep tonight, if you're looking at this 2 hours before you go to sleep, just notice this while you're sleeping. You probably clicked off 5 or 6 times. I bet, what is the bet right now? You couldn't even pay attention for the last 10 minutes and then you were clicking onto other things going, that burger bun kind of looks like an ass. What's going on YouTube? Oh yeah, he's back on, I'll look at that. Oh, Facebook. That would have been happening in the last however long I've been on at the moment. I haven't been on that long, it's just been minutes. I bet you've been fragmented from that. But while you're sleeping, Do you remember, if you're old enough for this, when you used to read a book before you went to bed, and then you just started thinking about the book more, going, I wonder what adventures Harry Potter shall get into in the future, or should I say misadventures? No, they're in their own right, they're adventures. That used to happen, right? Now you just sit there. Don't you think that this music kind of sums it up best? I don't even know what it is, but I'll just do I think it's from Beavis and Butthead Do America. It's kind of like you're tripping out in this electro future because your brain just goes like, it just moves from thing to thing, going tree, moose, camel, just keeps moving around consistently. It's not in a laser-like focus of being. And the one thing that's going to get you ahead in life, from Bill Gates to Steve Jobs, the most diverse array of success I can possibly think of, 2 computer billionaires, they have put all their success in life down to one word, which was concentration. And then they destroyed it for everybody else. Talk about kicking the ladder off the fucking roof, huh? So, this is going to be important for you, and I reckon that this should just be your homework. This is just it. Download the app, Self-Control, and then block out huge parts of your day from accessing the internet. First of all, I can guarantee you are going to be happier. This is fact, you are more depressed the longer you are on social media channels. In fact, I think it's teenage girls are the worst, obviously, because they're just sitting around there with looking at all these other chicks on Instagram going, I'm so hot, I've got a way better body than you, I'm partying it up in your pizza, what are you doing? You're just at Domino's. So that, first of all, it makes you way less depressed. I've noticed it as soon as I've moved up here into the country wilderness and I don't have access to the internet and it's just a man and his dog looking out on the ranges. That's how life should be. It should just be human beings hanging out with dogs. It's that simple. We don't need all of this tectonic stimulation, especially because it is actually destroying your mind. It is making you stupider. I've said that a few times. But I really want to hold that point in, because your life is a lot better, I can guarantee it from personal experience, if you're able to limit the amount of social media access you can maintain. And you can, obviously, if you just sit there and go, yeah, I'll just control it myself, that's not how willpower works, and you know you won't. Why are you lying to me? So, what I want you to do is get the app Self-Control, because Self-Control blocks out your access to the net for a period of time. So say that you want to be out of the net for 8 hours, you just set it, you say, I don't want to be able to click on anything on the internet for 8 hours, and then it goes, ding, and that's it. And you can't just turn your computer off and turn it back on. I've already tried that hack many a time. I've done it all. It is impregnable. Look, I'm not a computer hacker, there's probably a way out of it, and if you know, just, why don't you put it in the comments box and ruin everybody's life again, eh? So, there's that one, but I think that what would even be better, what I've been looking for is an app, and if anybody else knows there, why don't you share it with everybody else? Do something constructive instead of showing them how to become computer hackers, that might be a good thing. I want you to show me an app that not only is able to block out the internet, but is kind of timed, so every day you can only look at it for a certain amount of time. So the best time for me personally, and this is something else that you should be looking at, and we'll discuss this further in later videos, which is that naturally there is a period of your day where you're not that functional. Mine, I think, is probably about 3 to 6 p.m. where I'm just too fuzzy to do it. 3:30 artists, am I right? I think it's everybody's. Everybody is just kind of fuzzy between 3 and 6 p.m. Isn't that the perfect opportunity to just sit there and go, oh yeah, memes, awesome. That's the best time to do it, right? So if you could just block out the internet for the rest of the day and just spend your bullshit in that little time frame there, preferably reduce it down to an hour, that'd be the best. Not for me, but for you. Let's talk about you, okay? What's good for you? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. So I want you to do that. At the very least, get self-control, but look in the comments and see if anybody else can find one that is a continual timer. So every day it's just this mum on the computer going, get off now! That'd be amazing. I'll see you next week.